everybody. Welcome to Take the Black Live, the one and the only show on the internet where we dare to talk about things the mainstream media won't touch. Things like news about television, movies, gavels, swords, dragons, space lasers, and so on. I am Dan Selcke, the editor of winterscreen.net, and our usual co-host Daniel Roman is out today, but we have Camila Servello.
Hello, how are you?
I'm great. How are you, Camila? A WiC writer and all around cool person, Camila, filling in. How are you, Camila? To get my
I'm doing great. I'm just just enjoying this really ugly and rainy Wednesday, and just excited to talk about stuff. How are you?
I feel pretty good. It's nice here in Chicago. It's like sunny but brisk. So I have these long sleeve tee that can go into a short sleeve as needed. I find these very, very useful and helpful.
That is really useful. That is really cool. No, I just have a blanket on my lap 24/7.
And we got all our comments coming in. Thanks for joining us, guys. Hey, Julie, you missed us last week. That's fine. I'm so sorry about the new time. So, Camila, if you don't know, we have a viewer named Julie Davies who's in Australia, and she's been watching the show forever. Thank you so much for that, Julie. But, 2 p.m. in Australia is way too early in the morning. So, right. Julie, if you can ever get to this, we appreciate it. Or you can just watch it afterwards.
Wow, that's crazy.
Or do whatever you want. But we appreciate the continued viewership. And hello, Nicole. Hello, Diane. Hey, Jay, Robert, Christian. Good to see everybody. Oh, Christian came back to Chicago. Oh, I hope it went as well as last time, Christian. Anyway, we're here to talk about, like I said, all things TV, movies, etc., and so forth. And for a while, I'm betting we're going to start these shows with a trip to Westeros, because right now the cameras are rolling on the second season of House of the Dragon, strike or not. And we're seeing we'll get to that. I'm curious about your thoughts on that, because it's an interesting topic. But yeah, they're rolling in the Spanish city of Cáceres and Trujillo. They finished up, and they're out in the open, and they're not doing any crazy kind of military security or like drone bombings, and we can see it, and people have been getting good footage, which is nice. Do you like looking through this kind of thing, or are you someone who's more keep it away from me? I don't want to see it until the show starts.
It really depends. Like Game of Thrones, House of the Dragon. Yes, I absolutely adore seeing it, just because the show is just so dear to my heart that I'm like, oh, I have to have every part of it. So that's a part of it, and I want to see it all. But there's some shows that the majority of them I would like to just go in blind and be like, nope, I don't want to see anything. I'll see all of the making of after I watch everything, which I do for every show I watch. But yeah, no, I love seeing all the shots and stuff. It just gets me so excited.
It is more fun with a period piece like this too, because it's like Succession behind the scenes. It's like people in suits in Manhattan. It's like, so what? But it is fun to see them turn a modern city into ooh, they have Renaissance fair costumes and carriages and horses and armor and stuff. It is kind of just fun to watch. Or in this case, a giant blue screen blob. So we have some good footage from behind the scenes of the shoot in Cáceres. For example, this procession of mounted knights, all those extras, all those horses, escorting a big blue blob through the streets. Now, Camila, do you know what that big blue blob is? I mean, we'll be talking spoilers here, just people to warn you up front. Are we talking
spoilers? Okay,
I think we can. I mean,
okay.
We're going to walk a tightrope where we're going to spoil the things that are kind of unavoidably spoilable. We're going to say what that head
out
is.
There.
But let's not go beyond, and let's stick to the events being spoiled in this picture, and let's not really spoil anything we don't have to. I think that's the compromise we'll strike.
I like that. That's fair. That we can also is is that it's hard to see for me on the square here. Hold on, let me pull
Fair enough now. I can take it if you like.
Oh, there we go. It does. It looks to be like a part of. Am I allowed to say what it is? Then
Yeah.
Yes?
Go ahead. Go
Maybe?
ahead.
Okay.
Oh,
That is totally the head of a dragon.
Yes.
That is the head of a dragon. I don't know if we can disclose which dragon. I will let you.
We can.
Be the.
I think we can do that. Yeah.
Okay.
Why not? Let's do it.
It's Melee's. You know, Rhaenys is a dragon.
Yeah, this is Rhaenys Targaryen's dragon. Pretty early in the second season, at least if they follow Fire and Blood. I gotta have a cover that to hold up when I mention it. Rhaenys, played by Eve Best, will die fairly early. I'm guessing in the new season, because it's pretty close where they left off in the book. It's a dragon battle. She fights Aemond and Aegon. It should be good. I'm sure it'll be good.
Yeah.
And then
I'm curious to see how they're going to do that.
It should, yeah. I'm looking forward to it, because we saw her burst through the dragon pit in the last season. I didn't like that, by the way. I tell Daniel all the time I didn't like it. But perhaps I'll get your opinions on it later.
No. I agree. I agree with you. I think it's an awesome scene, but it does not belong. It shouldn't be. Should not be there. Should not be there. Was done for shock factor.
Yes, it was. I didn't like it.
Yeah. No.
But I just don't see why they couldn't have stuck to the original script. But whatever, that's another topic. But yeah, so Meleys dies in a big battle, and then they cart the head of Meleys through the streets. That sounds fun, right? I can see myself enjoying that scene. The small folk cheering or booing or whatever. Big old dragon head, tongue lolling out. That'll be a fun thing that we never saw in Game of Thrones. They never got around to targeting a dragon's head through the streets.
Yeah, that's going to be something definitely interesting to watch. See the reaction, just because like so many green supporters and so many black supporters just in the same spot. It'd just be cool to watch, like all the reactions of everything happening. I want to see that scene.
It's also fun that, like in Game of Thrones, there were only 3 dragons in the world, and the death of one is like a huge seismic event, as is the birth of one. And here there are so many, they can afford to like say, "We killed this. All right, rock on for us," and have people do it. A fun new tone. Speaking of death in the street, there are other good things we're capturing. This is so that's them dragging Meleys' head through the streets. There is another street procession through King's Landing that we talked about last week, where, and again, this is another spoiler. I won't say everything, but Helena, that's her on the right, who's shrinking like this in that pose, played by Pia Saban, the daughter of Alicent Hightower and King Viserys Targaryen, R.I.P. She has a couple of kids with her brother husband, Aegon, gross Targaryen, #incest. This is a complete non sequitur, but did you ever realize how sister wife, I feel like, is a word I've heard often enough, but brother husband I haven't heard as much, even though if there's a sister wife, there has to be a brother husband. I don't know why one is more common than the other, but whatever.
They could just say sibling spouse. That's it. Just say sibling spouse,
true.
And it's an umbrella and you're there. That's it.
I like that. We're gonna start that. #sibling spouse. But anyway, Boo Green, says Julie. No, it's fun for the dragon. But anyway, yeah. So one of her kids by Aegon, her brother husband, will die, and there is a funeral for him in the streets, which I don't think they did in the book, but now we know why they wanted to have this, because now we have some more details. And Alicent's there. We also got Kristen Cole in the background, Lord Commander of the Kingsguard. And they're basically carting the body of there's so many names and actors I get them mixed up sometimes, of Helena's son, Prince Jaehaerys, through the streets, and there's like a town crier saying like, "Behold the work of Rhaenyra the Cruel," which I like. So they're trying to do a PR thing. They're going to blame this death on Rhaenyra, right? Because there are assassins involved. But what we learned today or the other day is that this funeral this funeral procession will be interrupted by folk in Flea Bottom who are booing and supporting Rhaenyra and like throw fruit at Alicent and Helena. And then they gotta like get foe out of there, because apparently in their Rhaenyra is like providing the Flea Bottom folk with food through Mysaria is the new kind of angle they're going with.
Oh, Okay, I like.
Yeah,
That's
I don't mind
interesting.
that. That's interesting.
I mean, they have to show that she's a good like queen, you know. So she's still taking care of her people,
Or yeah,
sending
trying.
food,
Or like trying
trying
to
as
get
best she
them on the
can.
side. Because it's
Right.
one thing I didn't like in the final season of Game of Thrones, which this is not going to be about that, but I guess I wanted more of like a PR war, you know, when like Cersei and Daenerys are fighting, but you
Yeah.
never see like Cersei or Dany trying to get the people on their side, like Cersei trying to spread tales about Dany being a cruel queen, or I don't know, Dany trying to get food for folks. Sure, because I like the idea of the war being fought on the battlefield, in the air between dragons, and then in who can get the rabble on their side. So I like this idea.
Yeah. I like that too. I do like that.
And they play a
It's
part
pretty
later.
cool.
Like there are a few riots in this story. There are a few uprisings among the common folk. So it's good to kind of
Definitely.
rope them in.
Yeah. Get that started. Show how it all began.
It's already started. And you know,
yeah.
I guess Rhaenys coming up from the ground in the dragon pit did involve the common folk. She killed a bunch, which is what
Yes,
I didn't like it because they just kind of swept that
it
under the
makes
rug.
absolutely no sense to me. The whole idea of even the actress Eve Best saying that she was okay with it is, I think she's just saying it because, you know, it's done. Whatever, she got paid. She needs to say what she needs to say.
Yes.
But that's just my own opinion. But I feel like this is also like this is something that nobody really likes. Sure, it's a cool scene, but it doesn't fit anywhere. It's not her MO to kill random people, especially since this isn't her war to start. Well, you kind of started it already.
Yeah. Oh my God, I remember that. Not my war to begin. Well, you already got that train to the station. Oh, that was annoying.
Right. Like seriously, that whole scene annoyed me. And my husband and I were watching it together, and he's just watching, and I'm like, no. Like, this did not happen. This does not belong. This makes no sense. This is just HBO showing how pretty their CGI is with like
which it was pretty good for you.
It was gorgeous. It was a really cool scene that had it fit in, it would have been perfect, but it didn't.
Sure.
They tried a season 6 episode 10, Cersei destroying the scepter, the Sept Baelor, Septa Baelor, sorry, they tried to pull that kind of wow, but it was, she's not a Cersei person. It didn't work.
But I don't want to get too sidetracked with this because really I could, and I do it like every week. It seems like, so try to push past. But yeah, that's some of the news stuff coming out. We also saw, so Daniel and I have been wondering for a while now, we heard about this writer's strike, right? And all the writers are on strike at WGA. They want better pay. They want more residuals. They want robots to take their jobs. And we've been wondering, but House of the Dragon has chosen to shoot anyway. So they're shooting through the writer's strike. And we've gone back and forth about like, well, I mean, some shows shut down, but it's hard for a big show like House of the Dragon because they've already booked permits and they've hired extras and they've wrangled horses. It's hard to turn a big ship like that, you know, and just like shut something down. But we wondered where it left the showrunner, Ryan Condal, because some showrunners have quit. Like I think Star Wars Andor, Tony Gilroy, I think a showrunner on that, has said like, I'm just not going to go in. Because the theory there is if you're show running, you can claim that like, I'm not writing, I'm just show running, but like they're so close that it's kind of, can you really only show run? Doesn't that involve some writing? But we found out now that Ryan Condal is on set. He is in Custodus, managing things, making them go smoothly, doing his show running duty. And I'm sure he's saying that I'm not breaking the strike because he's a writer too. He's written episodes of the first new ones. I'm not going to suggest lines. I'm just going to show run. So I guess my question to you and to everyone out there is Ryan Condal being a scab, or is it possible to separate these two duties out?
First of all, as somebody who has no idea everything that a showrunner must do,
it's a lot.
keeping that in mind, I don't know all the ifs and ends and buts of show running,
Mhm.
but as I believe, as long as there's no actual writing or actual anything that involves him sitting down, touching the story, touching the script, I think that is what would be about, in my opinion. But
Mhm, mhm, mhm.
again, he is the showrunner. Um, it is in this case, I think it's a very personal preference. You know, I think you have to kind of figure out where you stand with what's going on. You know,
Sure.
how if you know, think of others and how it affects you versus how it affects them and everything. So I think he might have done that and said, I'll just go and support as best I can and possibly look like a scum of the earth, but like not actually not be doing any writing. You know what I mean? Does that make
I
sense?
do. It does. I mean, it's hard. Like
It is
I
hard.
I I think it depends on who you ask too. Like I brought this up
Yeah.
to Daniel too. Like
Mhm.
there was like at least one tweet from a writer who said that like if you as a showrunner choose from like 3 costumes, like I want that costume to be like that's a writing decision because it affects the story you're trying to express story through that. Now, I'm not sure if I agree with that. It does seem like removed, but that's what a showrunner would do. They're like deciding like which of these props is best, where should this person stand. Well, that's more of a director saying. Like it basically is all about the story. Like how is the story going to be expressed while it's shot? And there are some who would argue, even if you don't like write, you should say this. Like, here's a line I'm writing for you. It's still writing or writing adjacent. It's complicated though. And
It is. It is.
it's
It's very
happening.
complicated.
Like there's also Sarah Hess is a writer
Yeah,
and
she's there
producer. She's
too.
also on the show. Apparently she
Yeah.
has not to be photographed, but it happened anyway. So
It did. We saw it. Yeah. We saw you, Sarah. Sorry.
it's the age of
But
smartphones. You can't
I mean,
hide
what are
from
you gonna
that. It's
do? Yeah,
impossible.
seriously. Seriously. Um, but I think, like I said, it's a very personal, moral based opinion or preference.
Mhm.
You know what I mean? It
Yeah.
depends on the person, depends, like you said, depends who you ask, but also depends on who's the one in that situation.
I do wonder if he and Sarah Hess will like be given the cold shoulder by all their writer buddies when they get back for
Yeah,
doing
I
this.
hope not.
They won't
I
get
hope
invited to the
not.
parties. We'll see.
Yeah,
Not sure. It's hard too
yeah,
because Disney and HBO, they both sent like letters to the showrunners basically saying like, we expect you to be at work and just do your show running duties. We respect that you're in a union, but come into work or we will not pay you. Like it's hard. This is very hard, and I hope it gets resolved soon.
oh
Um,
yeah, it sucks.
some good comments here. We got Nicole. He's in a tough spot. The best compromise is to continue filming without changing scripts. Which, yeah, I think that's right. Again, you just like if it were a small sitcom, maybe you could just stop filming and then just wait until it's over, and it'd be easy enough. Or like during the last writer's strike, I remember that The Office had like a 8 episode season as opposed to 20, which is what happened back then. But
Yeah,
you know, Office episodes are kind of like they're all individual, so you can just kind of stop in the middle of a season. It's not really going to hurt that much. It's different on House of the Dragon, where if you don't
right.
shoot the whole season, you're going to stop in a weird, dumb place. It's not going to work. Or they're shooting like episode 8 first, and then they're going back episode 2. It just doesn't work. TV's changed since the last
Oh
writer's
yeah,
strike, and
yeah.
I don't envy anyone trying to negotiate this crap. As Leo says, I support the writers, but I have to think about the jobs below the line too. Shutting the production down is too much, which I also agree with. Again, there's extras and there's prop makers and costume designers and
Yeah.
grips and cinematographers and directors and actors. And of course, if the actors strike too, ooh, we'll see some fireworks then.
Oh,
We will.
that would suck. That would suck. That'd be terrible. Especially if they went in with the attitude of if you leave the show, you're done. You're not going to be cast anymore, and they
Oh,
actually
okay.
leave. And it's like, It's like surprise Pikachu meme. You know, uh-oh.
I mean, yeah. Well, at that point, what are you going to do? Are you going to recast
cancel
Matt
the
Smith?
show?
No, you're not. You're going to, cancel the show.
No, you're going to cancel the
stuff.
show. These people are these characters. We're going to have a Witcher situation with the entire cast. That would be so awful. Why would you put that in the universe? Don't do that.
I mean, I'm not sure, but I believe the actors are going to either declare a strike soon or declare to not have a strike, like in the very near future. So it's going to be, I don't know what's going to happen, but we'll find out. The Witcher,
Great.
man. Are you interested in The Witcher? Because that season's coming up.
I am. That's the last season, right?
With Henry Cavill in the lead.
No, that's the last season. Yeah, that's the last season. So yeah, I'll watch it.
They can't be happy with that Netflix, with so many folks saying that people are going to watch this and then not watch the rest, because they want it to be a franchise so badly. They want an MCU level. They want an MCU The Witcher so badly, because they've made like 2 spin-offs already and like an anime movie. And now they want to extend it. But it's just not working for them. Actors are leaving.
I just have one question about this though. Like, I remember even when I reported on it was when if why he wasn't coming back, and that's because like
no one really knows.
Renegotiate the contract, and they said that multiple actors had to renegotiate the contract, but you don't see multiple actors leaving. Just have it. It's like did something else. Like, why couldn't his contract be renegotiated?
No one knows for sure, I don't think. Like, no one said the details. I was reading an interview with him and some of the other actors today, like with Netflix, and like that question just didn't come up because they don't want to address it. I mean, I'm guessing that renegotiated contracts, if you're a Henry Cavill, you can probably ask for a lot more than Anya Shalatra or Freya Allen or the other folk in the cast. If you're Henry Cavill, you can demand more, and if they don't meet your quote, bye. I was Superman. You will pay me $25 million. That number's out of nowhere, by the way. I don't know the number. So it's hard to know what'll happen. It's or what happened. Yeah, and I wish I did. Yeah,
I wish I did too. I wish I could have been a fly in that room.
Yeah, I'm ready for like a gossip columnist to go behind the scenes and get the dirt and share it with me, because
this is a call to action. If you're out, just kidding, please don't.
No, please do. Go ahead and do it.
You know the truth. Let us know. Let us know the truth. Now,
who's today's Perez Hilton? Who's doing this kind of thing now? Who's the behind the scenes gossip sleuths? Someone at Variety. We can do it. We'll just go.
We can do it. We'll do it.
We'll catfish some folk on Twitter and we'll end up get information out of them.
Oh yeah, we'll totally do this. We got this. It's in the bag.
It'll be fun. It'll be a good time. Moving on. Any other thoughts about House of the Dragon or Fantasyland before we move on?
I just can't wait, and I hope no further strikes happen because I want my dragons.
I mean, they didn't shut it down, so at least it's not off schedule. It's still on track for 2024. Again, if the actors don't strike, and then the directors are going to call their thing, I think, next month. So everyone's coming at once. Hopefully, it all gets resolved. I just wanted to pay the damn writers and then get everything back on track.
Oh my god!
Hey, when David Zaslav gets like $150 million signing bonus in stock for becoming a new CEO of Warner Discovery, you wonder, can you really not pay people? Seriously? I don't know, man.
Yeah, seriously. It doesn't make sense. It's okay.
But speaking of tons of money, you
things
saw
that don't make sense?
Things that don't make sense. You saw the new film, Fast X, the 10th movie in the Fast and Furious franchise over the weekend. It's already made a boatload of money. And Camila, just basically, what'd you think? What'd you think of the new adventures of Vin Diesel facing off against villain Jason Momoa, wearing what looks like a snakeskin jacket?
This man His fashion was giving me life the entire movie. Like his character is very like just over the top, obnoxious, sociopath, like crazy. It just it fits right in with it. And he is my favorite thing about this movie. My favorite person, favorite actor, favorite like character in this movie, because he was just so like well played. I really enjoyed seeing him as Dante.
Dante, good name.
It was great. Dante Reyes.
Dante Reyes.
He was. I kept calling him names like under my breath the entire movie. It was that good. It was great.
Like what kind of names?
But like I was like you butt face, you know.
Gotcha.
You,
I'm with you. I
yes,
hear you. Yeah.
Yes. I put money in the swear jar. Situation. Yeah. But yeah, no, it was a really fun movie. Like the fighting was really cool. The choreography was great. Like I talked about that before. The Charlize Theron and Michelle Rodriguez's fight when they're both like they both wake up in the same place and they're like, oh great, and they just start fighting each other and everything. That fight was great. It was beautiful. It was very fun to watch. The car, I like to refer it as car ballet.
Sure,
okay.
I started
to say that term when Matrix Reloaded came out. It's my favorite of the trilogy, by the way, because of the twins.
Best car chase
that is
scene,
literally why. Oh yeah, that is the Mona Lisa overdrive scene that takes place in that entirely too long throughway. That is the best Lisa car overdrive? Ballet. Mona Lisa Overdrive. Yeah, that's the name of the scene or whatever.
I didn't know that.
The song, yeah, the soundtrack, fun fact, the soundtrack is oh gosh, I'm going to completely butcher his name.
Go ahead. I do it all the time. I learned how to say catheters.
You should learn how to say what?
I learned how to say Cáceres, the Spanish city that we were talking about earlier.
That's true.
It was a long, hard process.
Junior Reactor? Junior Reactor? I don't know how to reactor. Yeah, I think. And
I'm not in a place to correct you.
The entire, like all his music is fantastic, especially the one he did for the Matrix franchise. If you like electronic music, check him out.
And that related to Fast and Furious how?
Yeah, Fast and Furious, because the best car ballet that I've ever seen was in Matrix Reloaded. And I hadn't seen one that I liked this much since then. Like very that cool. Is a very good car ballet, like on par, a little less explosive. Nah, it's pretty explosive. But the movie was just fun. It was just back-to-back entertainment, and the dialogue was great. It had its ridiculousness that everybody loves in the franchise.
That is the word.
And it also had a lot of family. So I can't wait to the next one. I really can't.
As like someone who I'd never seen a Fast and Furious movie, I could never. I have 2 points. I can never tell if when folks say it's about family, they're being sincere or they're kidding. And
they're always making fun of it.
Okay, because they say it too often.
Well, I mean, like in real life, people just make fun of it. In the movie, they mean it.
Okay, gotcha. Perfect.
It comes off very ridiculous in the movie because they say it over and over and over and over.
Hey, if you got a brand, stick to it. And
it's great.
Also,
it's great.
As someone who hasn't seen them, should I watch them? And if so, where should I start?
Yes, you should definitely watch them.
Okay.
The timeline.
Do I have to watch like all of them, or is it the kind of series where I can just like jump in somewhere and be okay?
You do not have to watch all of them
because there are a lot.
I need to find their names.
The names are great. Even I know
they make no
fast,
sense.
Too furious.
They make no sense.
No. Okay.
What?
I just learned that Tina Turner died.
Are you kidding?
Oh,
no.
She just died at age 83. This is not a Tina Turner podcast, but it should
be. Dang. Oh man, that's That sucks.
Okay. Sorry, that was a little tangent.
No, it's fine. It's okay. It's okay. It happens. Oh, rest in peace.
Oh, simply the best.
Yeah. So I would totally watch the Fast and Furious, Too Fast, Too Furious.
Okay.
You can watch Tokyo Drift, but Paul Walker isn't in it, and like, it's Han, and then you can keep watching. I think Fast and Furious, Fast 5, Fast Furious 6, 7, 8, 9, and X. You don't have to watch Hobbs and Shaw, and you don't have to watch Tokyo Drift.
Okay, that's still a lot. Okay, if I do,
you have to sit through a lot of family.
Family is important.
Family. But not only that, like, also, you know this. Some of you watching this might know this. Some of you might not. I am originally from Brazil, and Fast X, like the Fast and Furious franchise, has a really big like place in Brazil. Obviously, they go to Rio all the time now. So 5 and 10 are 5 and X are my favorite because Rio, they go to Rio in both of those movies, and the Portuguese is fantastic in X. Like, shout out to Vin Diesel and Jason Momoa. Obrigada. That was great. That was such good accents. It was great.
Good. I'm glad. And the commenters seem to agree that Jason Momoa is a highlight. I mean, he's just like a charisma volcano, that man. You can put him in most anything and he'll at least be entertaining and watchable.
Wait, Vin Diesel?
No.
No. I didn't catch you. You said
Momoa.
Sorry. Oh, Momoa. Yes. He's so cool. I want to be friends with him. Like, he's just,
everybody does, right? It's gonna have a beer with him. Yeah.
Yeah. I just want to hang out with him and talk. And that's it.
And Joanne says this is good news that she's watched him in no specific order and loves the franchise. Okay, so maybe I'll just try to just go in on one that's good and then see if I like it or not.
Keep this in mind. So the big awakening that Fast X gave me was it revealed that Fast and Furious is its own genre. 100%.
Yes, you wrote that. I was intrigued by that.
Yes. It is a full-on superhero genre. However, the heroes are obviously, Dom and Letty and, Brian and all the people, obviously the characters. And then their superpowers are their cars. They redirect bombs with the cars. They shoot like bombs and cannons out of the car. They use their car to like drop from an airplane on top of 2 other cars and then continue driving. He jumps off a dam.
Sweet.
There's just no stopping what they can do in cars because cars are their superpowers. And I'm 100% serious about this. It's meant to be over the top and like ridiculous because it's the genre, but it's not your like I am Iron Man. No, it's like I'm a car. Hello, I'm the superpower.
I will try one because it sounds worth. It's just a movie. It's not that long.
It's fun.
We have a question for you, Camila, from Leo. What do you think of the cameos, but don't spoil anything?
Oh, no. Great. I really liked it. Those cameos were great. I didn't want to mention anything, but yes, the cameos are great. And I will not spoil anything.
And now I'm curious about who showed up.
What did you think, Leo?
Nicolas Cage. Am I right? Is it Nicolas Cage? Okay, fine.
I can't tell it. I have to translate it.
Okay. We'll do it. All right. I'm glad you enjoyed it, and it's doing great. So, great for all the rev heads out there, which may or may not be what they call themselves. Oh no, I'm sure they call themselves the family, right? If you're like a fan.
They're family. They are the family. They even Abuelita does a whole speech in the beginning of Fest Acts talking about how we are the family. And
is that the names for the fans? Like, you know how like there's Bayhive or whatever, so they're like the family.
I think it's 100% fan service.
It's got to be it.
For the cool. Yeah, it's great.
All right.
It's fun.
I'm glad. Fast X in theaters now, starring people. Are you watching anything else, Camila?
Starting people.
No,
Sorry.
starring people, starring many, many people.
I know that just catch me up. Right now, I mean, I'm watching anime, so nothing of this realm. I don't think. So.
Is there anything popping in anime recently? I watch it, but I like what was it like a big new thing? Is it like a big new thing?
Demon Slayer, the third
Demon
season
Slayer.
of Demon Slayer is out. Oh.
Don't look at me like that. I watched Attack on Titan. That's the big one. I'm still watching JoJo's Bizarre Adventure. I've gotten a lot further into it.
Okay.
And
Jujutsu Kaisen?
No, those have been my two recently. And then I watched One Punch Man back when it was big a couple of years ago.
One Punch Man is cool. Well, Demon Slayer and Jujutsu Kaisen. Jujutsu Kaisen's coming back. Demon Slayer's on now. That's all I know right now of things that are going on. It's been a whole minute since I actually got into anime and everything. So I'm just starting. I just started to get back into it like 6 months ago. So
that's cool. A quick one from Joanne says that she started watching Demon Slayer at my grandson's request and actually found him enjoying it.
It is really good. I'm so happy you enjoy it. It is a really, really good. It's not. I mean, it's pretty violent. It's definitely not for little kids at all. It's pretty violent. It's got its
is it one of those like
slashing.
Is it like genuinely for mature audience anime, or is it more like
they look really cute? No, it's for mature audiences, I believe.
Okay.
There's nothing weird in it. Nothing weird like that in it, but it's just violent. That's about it. I think if you're like 15, you can watch it actually. So
okay, because
it's not that bad.
Because anime is so strange. So, I mean, like, it's not strange. Just it's different from what we
it's got
expect here. Where
layers.
like to maturity level, it'll like be like stories we're used to getting about like high school kids having wacky romances, and then there's blood everywhere, which you wouldn't get in a high school story in the US. It's just can be a little disorienting if you're not used to it. But I'm glad you said it. But I'm more on Julie's wavelength. Succession is so good, she says, which it is. Holy crap. This show is one episode away from the series finale. The last episode was fantastic. This is probably the best written show I've ever seen. Like just
really more than Severance.
I still Severance is on my list next. That's the next one I'm going to watch.
You've never.
I have that one is on my list. I am watching Severance after I'm done with Succession, Ted Lasso and stuff.
Hands down, the best written show I've ever seen. Hands down. And one of the best soundtracks. It's on my top 10 list that I wrote as well. It's really good theme song.
True.
Yeah. Love it.
Severance is definitely teed up for me. But Succession is, I mean, we're very near the end now. One episode away from the series finale. And the show has really earned its place, I think, in like the pantheon of HBO greats in general. You don't watch it, right?
No, but I have been the general premise. No, I've actually been talking to Danny about it because I have been dying to watch Succession. It's so bad. I haven't found the time. But
it's very I mean, it's a chunky hour-long drama. Although 4 seasons isn't, that's manageable. A super wealthy family based on the Murdochs. Basically, the dad runs the company and he's 1 million years old and he's going downhill, and it's who's going to succeed him, who will get the succession. It's been going on 4 seasons. Just not just the way it's kind of, when I say well written, I mean that the structure and everything, but just in this recent episode, it was a big funeral and all the kids gave these eulogies. And they were just, the word choices and the way the speeches were constructed were so moving in particular. Like I can see young actors auditioning with these speeches is like what I'm imagining happening in a few years from now. They were so well done. And the actors just smash it. And we've got a lot of conflict going into the last thing. So I'm fully on board with Succession right now. The first 3 seasons are good. This final 4th season, they've really ramped it up to like an unbearable tense level. And if they go out with this momentum intact, it'll be something very, very special. So kudos to Jesse Armstrong and everyone else involved in Succession. You're doing a good job. Clappy, 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 clappy. Good for you.
I'm definitely gonna have to watch now, especially because I think I know exactly what funeral you're talking about.
I don't want to
So
spoil it
I'm
too much,
definitely-
but
oh no, don't. I need to watch it though. I need to watch it so bad.
yeah, and I'll watch Severance. I fully will watch Severance. That is literally like
Okay.
right now. I'm watching Succession. We're watching Ted Lasso. We're gonna finish that up. We're watching Barry, which is also really, really good on HBO. And then I gotta finish For All Mankind on Apple TV Plus. I want to finish Better Call Saul. Finally, have the final season on Netflix. But Severance will be probably next before Better Call Saul. Before
So good.
I'll watch it
is so
soon.
good.
I'll watch it soon in the near future.
It's so good. So good. So good. So
Good. I'm glad. I look forward to it. Anything else we want to talk about before we go into our final segment?
I don't know. I got
All
nothing
right.
else, I don't think.
In that case, let's go into the WiC News Lightning Round, where we blast through some of the stories we didn't talk about in full in the main body of the episode and give our 20-second reactions. Here's a fun treat for you longtime viewers. I put them in order this time to make sure that we didn't get ones that we weren't prepared to react to. Although, 20. Thank you. I like the round clap. All right. Camila, are you ready to play the game? I will start by asking you. Okay. I'm going to ask you the first question. Give me your 20-second reaction. No more, no less. Or actually, however long you want to go. It's fine. Camila, Disney is shutting down the Galactic Star Cruiser Star Wars hotel experience after only about a year of operation. Your thoughts?
Incredibly disappointed, but definitely saw it coming. I, as a big LARPer, have a really big friend, a really good friend who went with a group of LARPers to the hotel and stayed and had a absolutely disappointing time when it came to the immersion. So it was sad.
Yeah,
but
I heard that it was just expensive.
oh
R.I.P.
my God, yeah.
All right, Camila, ask me the next one.
All right. The Wheel of Time season 2 is coming out on September 1st. How do you feel about that?
Excited. So that show got some blowback from some fans, but I thought it was good. The Wheel of Time is an important big fantasy franchise that has long needed to be adapted to TV, movies, or something. So I'm glad it's happening. I like the first season. I've been wanting for a long time about when the second season's coming out. So I'm glad we have a date. I'm glad we have pictures. I'm glad it's actually happening. I'm psyched. I'm in on this one. So good for Wheel of Time. All right. Circling back to that writer's strike stuff, Camila, Warner Bros. CEO David Zaslav, he of like the $100 million signing bonus, gave a commencement speech to graduates at his alma mater, Boston University. And he was like booed through the whole thing. And they were chanting, "Pay your writers, pay your writers." Thoughts?
Heck yes, keep booing him. Just keep booing him. Anywhere he walks, just follow him and just keep booing him 24/7. I'm just kidding. Good for them.
Yeah, pretty much.
I
don't know why he would go through with that. What do you think's going to happen? David Zaslav, you going to go in public in front of youthful, optimistic people?
Some people live in a different reality.
That's true. If you have that much money, it's easy to just kind of spend your whole life on yachts and in penthouses and not have to kind of think about what would the rebel think. But he found out. Hopefully they'll do something. All right. Whose turn is it? I lost track.
No buzzer.
Your turn for me. No buzzer.
Okay. Mrs. Davis reportedly won't return for a second season on Peacock.
Yeah, Mrs. Davis was this cool. I didn't watch it, but I liked the idea of the show. It was about it was Tim Lindelof, who did Watchmen and Lost, about like a nun who's fighting against an AI, very powerful AI. I like that it was an original idea, because that's kind of hard to come by these days, because folk want to do franchises so much. If it wrapped up, I'm fine with it, but I also want some new original IPs in the ring. So maybe something else. All right, Camila, Patrick Rothfuss, the author of the very popular Kingkiller Chronicles series of fantasy novels with the name of the Wind, is releasing a new novella called The Narrow Road Between Desires, and not releasing at this point, I think it's like 12 years in the making, third novel, The Doors of Stone.
I will not read anything by Patrick Rothfuss until that third book comes out. I love them though. I have Name of the Wind earrings, like little book earrings. Like I love his books. But I don't care about your novella. I want that third book, sir. Don't turn into another George R. R. Martin, please.
Too late. We should talk about it sometime. That's so interesting, those two. But okay.
The parallel. Okay.
I don't want to get too sidetracked. Okay, hit me.
Dan.
Uh-huh.
Disney removes Willow, Why, The Last Man, and dozens of other titles from Disney Plus and Hulu. Thoughts?
Yeah. So this is something that David Zaslav started. Like he removed Westworld and stuff from HBO Max, which seems weird, right? Because like the point of having the streaming services, you can just watch content, and they're removing them for like tax write-off reasons and such. We're ending the golden era of the streaming wars, and we're entering the era of folks trying to make money, which means that we just can't give all this stuff away. It's unfortunate, but it's happening. The golden era is over. Like we're entering a new phase, and it involves tricks like this. Speaking of streaming wars, Camila and everyone else out there, just FYI, HBO Max, not HBO Max anymore. It's now officially just called Max.
Cool.
Yes,
Does it have a color with a name? Come here, Max. I'm just kidding. I don't want to watch House of the Dragon. Come here, Max. No, that's cool. That's interesting. Why take out the HBO? Is it now going to be just HBO shows?
Because now it also has Discovery Plus shows in it as well.
Oh, I did not know that.
I don't think the price has changed. I don't think so.
I gotta check my subscription. Subscription.
Max. Okay. And our last item.
Nicolas Cage has a cameo in The Flash. What do you think?
I mean, Michael Keaton's cameo in The Flash, Ben Affleck's cameo in The Flash. Nicolas Cage was famously going to play Superman back when Tim Burton was going to direct it back in like the early 90s. So I imagine he plays Superman because it's all like a metaverse, meta universe, whatever, multiverse thing that they're doing, which could be fun. Could be definitely be cute. I'm sure it'll be cute.
I did not know
that. It never happened, obviously.
That's crazy. Wow.
It got pretty. It was Tim Burton directed the Michael Keaton Batman movie. And then for a minute, he was like superhero movie guy. And he was going to do Superman with Nicolas Cage, but something fell through. And imagine what. Maybe things change.
Gotcha.
Anyway, that's our show. Camila, thanks for coming by.
Yeah, thanks for having me. This is awesome.
Of course. And if you want to see more of me, more of Camila, more of Daniel, you can go check out our stuff on winnerscoming.net. And as for Take the Black Live, we stream episodes live every Wednesday at 2 p.m. Central Standard Time, or 3 p.m. Eastern, 1 p.m. Mountain, and noon on the West Coast, and way too early in Australia. Sorry about that, Julie. We're also available on podcast form wherever podcasts are available, be it Google Play, iTunes, or wherever else. What else is there to say but R.I.P. Tina Turner, you were simply the best. Goodbye.